Okay, Ravenswood, it's John. I'm back showing you how to utilize your laptop, second monitor, and doc cam to get a Zoom call set up for synchronous instruction with students or a training with teachers. All right, so as we showed in the last video, I've used my different video connections to set up my second monitor, and I've used my USB with my mini USB connector to set up my doc cam. Okay, so let's get started. You can see on the screen, you have this view in the bottom left where you can actually see what I'm doing with the equipment. Bottom right hand corner is my laptop, desktop here, and in the upper right hand corner I have my second monitor. All right, so before I even start Zoom, I need to open some software and get things set up so I have them when I need them. All right, so first of all, I'm going to go up in our desktop, the standard Ravenswood desktop, and you'll see this folder, Document Camera. Double click, go in there. We're going to use a program called Sphere. All right, double click and I would open it. Okay, and if you have the doc cam going, it should connect right away. All right, here it is. All right, so I'm going to minimize this for a moment. Okay, a quick trick that I want to show you is this is your taskbar down in the bottom of your Windows screen. Once you have a program open, if you haven't done it already, I want you to pin it, what we call pin it to the taskbar, so it's right there when you need it, and you don't have to go through the folder anymore. Basically what you're doing, and there are a few different ways to do this, you're right-clicking, and you're going to pin it. The way I right-click on my laptop is 2 fingers. Okay, 2 fingers, and you'll see that screen come up. All right. Many of us are more comfortable just clicking the lower right-hand side of that trackpad there and pinning it. Okay. If you guys are using an external mouse, obviously right-click, left-click. But those are the 2 ways. I find that the 2-finger tap is the fastest, but we all have our ways. So you can see mine says unpin from taskbar because I've already pinned it. All right, I'll unpin it just to show you. So I open it, it appears in my taskbar. I want that there for when I need it. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I did the same thing with Zoom, although I'm not going to open it yet. But you can see it there because I pinned it. Chrome and those things were automatic. But Sphere and Zoom are the main things. Okay. Next, and again, when you go to Sphere, this should be automatic. It should recognize, okay, the doc cam. Now I want to bring up something else. For those of you who don't have the Aver doc cams, I would recommend using the camera app in Windows. All right, because that will also recognize the doc cams, and I'm going to show you how to find it. Start menu, and then scroll down to the C's. There you have camera. Now my document camera is already being used by Sphere, so it's not going to recognize it. But you can use the camera. This will, see if it gives me anything. It doesn't, but it will have an option of switching cameras, kind of like on your phone up here in the right-hand corner. One of them will show the webcam, which is the camera showing me right now, and then you'll be able to hit switch cameras, and you can switch to the document camera. It'll recognize it as another camera. And you guys let me know through help desk if you have an issue. Maybe I can show a quick video on how to do that for other kinds of non-Aver document cameras. All right, I'm gonna close. So we have Sphere open with our doc cam. The next, most likely, you're gonna want to have Chrome open. And here we are, Chrome, RNet. Maybe I'm going to Google Docs. As we all know, signing in. Alrighty. And maybe I'm gonna go to my 9 dots up here. Maybe I'm gonna go to my classroom. I'm opening my Google Classroom. All right, so maybe that's all you need. All you need your document camera set up right here. next to me, and I can do manipulatives here if I'm going to do a read along, something like that. And then I also have my Google Classroom. So I recommend opening up all the tabs that you need for when you need them. Boom, 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 whatever you might need, you want to have it open and ready to go. All right, so I'm actually going to bring them up. There they are. Now I'm going to start my Zoom lesson. Oh, so once I have these two up, I am actually going to show you the last piece here, and that's how to set up this second monitor. So we've connected it, but we haven't done anything with it yet. So basically you're going to use that right click or double tap there on the desktop, and you're going to get options. And I want you to go to display settings. Once you have display settings set up, you'll see that you show your two monitors. All right, and now you have some options about how you want to set them up. So first, identify. There you can see I have one and I have two. Let me do it again. 1 and 2. So I know which ones I'm talking about. Now, I recommend if you left click, you can drag the monitor out to be anywhere you want. I recommend it being right on top because as you can see, my mouse can go, I don't know if you can see, let me move this if I could see this a little bit, and I'll minimize it so I darken it. If it's right above, you can see my mouse going right up top, like that. It's really easy to get up and down. So that's a nice little trick there. I'm going to bring up this display settings up again. Now, for some of you, you may find that these rectangles on display settings are not the same size. All right, and I'm going to see if I can show you an example of that. All right, it'll show you. Some of you may have that where you have a larger rectangle on top of the others. It's not a problem, except the mouse, if I go up here, can get caught. Basically, when you pull it down, it can get caught in these two corners. And you'd say, where did my mouse go? But actually, if that's the case and you have different resolutions, different size screens up and down, just try to go up and down, okay, through the center. But you'll get the hang of it. Just mess around with it and play with it a little bit so you don't get caught. See, I'm getting caught right there. Okay? Not a big deal. Just something to watch out for. I'm going to reset my resolution here. Generally, you always go with the recommended resolution. Makes everything work better. Okay, so here I am. I have my two monitors set up. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is basically how to set up your Zoom, move your gallery, and how to share Chrome and how to share Sphere or whatever program you're using for your DocCam. All right, when we're signing into Zoom, let's do that again real quick. Boom, Zoom comes up. I want to sign in. I'm going to sign in with Google and use my Ravenswood.net account, which it automatically did for me. There you can see my username, ravenswoodschools.net. All right, I'm just going to start a meeting. Okay, now because I am using the webcam that you're looking at me with, actually, why don't I turn that off? I'm going to turn that off real quick so you can look at the Zoom. Boom. Boom. So I probably won't appear again. Don't worry about this screen. That's my screen capture screen. So I'm going to start my video. There I am. All right, so what I'm going to do with this screen right here, all right, is show you that when I share a screen, share my screen, I have all these choices of what I want to share. I can share this screen, screen 1. I can share screen 2. In this situation, you're probably never going to share screen 2 because it's just the gallery. But screen 1 is going to have Sphere and Google Chrome on it. So I may want to share my entire screen 1. Or I can just share these different programs specifically. So let's just, for the sake of it, say, let's just share Chrome because we're going to get our class started with Google Classroom. So click on Chrome, enter. Now, when that happens, I don't know if you saw this, but my view jumped all the way up. All right, but you can move that around. So if you go to the white bar up here, you can click and you can drag it back and forth. You can put it where you want it. Now, what you're going to notice is that when you move it up here, when you have a whole class, this will be the small squares of the gallery view of all your students. And the idea with this is that you work here, but have all your students here, and you can maintain as much eye contact, keep everything in your line of sight as much as possible. And then if you need to go up and down, you can quickly do so because the mouse goes up and down because of what we did in display settings. All right, so this is how I like to set everything up. And then you can also, when you see that crisscross of the arrows, all right, you can put your controls where you want them. I generally probably put them here just because I'm going to want to access my tabs at the top of my Chrome screen. So let's say I'm going through Google Classroom. All right. Another thing to, so I'm just going through my class. Let's say I want to share my DocCam. All right. I'm going to go to Share, New Share. Now, if you notice right here, and if you're looking at the desktop I have, it says New Share in white, and then it says Alt-Shift-S. That might be easier for some of you. As many of these keyboard shortcuts that you can learn, the better. It makes everything smoother and faster. So let's try that. Alt-Shift-S. And whenever you hover on these different options in your Zoom controls, you'll see that Manage Participants, Alt-U. If you want to go to the chat, here you get a whole list, and to the right you'll see chat, Alt-H, and down. If you have just a little cheat sheet, some notes underneath you can just mark down the functions for Zoom and the keyboard shortcuts right next to them, so you can move around quickly, and you'll just feel confident. And you can practice as you do that, and it'll get easier for you, and you can always kind of have that game plan or that cheat sheet of keyboard shortcuts next to you. All right. So let's Alt, Shift, and Alt, Shift, S. Again, doing that again. I'm going to try to do it here so you can see it. Alt, Shift, S all at the same time. I get my share. For those of you who have a touch screen, boom, 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 you can touch right on them and go. But what I want to do is share my DocCam. So my DocCam is Sphere. Sphere is how I look at my DocCam. So Sphere, share, and I'm just going to click enter so share goes. And now I'm sharing my DocCam. So all my students are seeing the DocCam, and I may have math manipulatives, or I may be writing. There's a little lag in some of the cameras, but it's not too bad, and you'll get used to it. Again, if you can look at this screen here that I'm using, I have my manipulatives. If I had a book, I might move this over. And I'm doing this here, but at the same time, I can see my Zoom screen, and my students are all kind of in this area of my line of sight. Okay, so you can kind of operate this way. Let's see if I'm done with my screen sharing all together. I'm going to stop my share, and I am back with my controls. But as you can see, the gallery still remains up there, which is where I want it. All right, so that's what I'll leave you with today. Please give me comments if this is unclear. If there's a better way for me to do it, please let me know. I know it's kind of long and there's a lot to go through, but hopefully this is helpful. All right, see you next time.